You put it down, you pick it up. Alright. Where did we fall asleep, he's at? Oh, yeah, that's right. After the session with Captain Sekatai last time, I kinda went a looking at the Erd Tree, specifically. A good place to leave it, though. He's done with us. We're out. Laters. uh, played this the other day, did very badly. Locations, locations, locations. I think I finished Weeping Peninsula. Uh, we're gonna go down the list in Limgrave next, I suppose. At the Divine Tower of East Altus. I decided I wanted to look at where the Great Tree was actually jammed into the ground at. Or, well, the Erd Tree, rather. Figure what better vantage point than right next to it. Well, the insurance game got all jacked up when Marika took the Rune of Death out of the Elden Ring and people just stopped a-dying. Hey, look at that there. All the way down into the sea. Or, like, it's right on the edge of the sea, this son of a gun is. Like, this map is inaccurate here. Not just where the Erd tree's painted on it, but this little piece of land and stuff like that, I think those are not accurate to the actual game geometry. You know, you can't really see it too well now. It was better conditions when I was exploring it personally. But here is Limgrave. Jump in, never. And we're gonna see what we can see in Limgrave. Guess we'll go by sub-region. Oh geez, Stormveil's considered part of the region, I guess. But we'll treat that separate. Alright, sights of grace and everything. Bam! Far to... Alright. So, are these in order? They're in alphabetical order. Can we change the order? Nope. So, we're in kind of a way. The first step, we'd have that. Church of Ella, we know that. Gatefront, we know that. Waypoint, Ruin Cellar, that's where Selen is. We know, or was. We know that. Artist Shack, we know that. Third Church America, we know that. Fort Height, we know that. I guess we'll go there for starters. No, I'm on PS5, so I can't mod it. Galax. Me and my pal Captain Sekatai, however, are doing a co-op focused playthrough together, though, for better or for worse. And you know what happened last session? And it coincided with us kind of, or at least me specifically, adopting a invasions are just a part, they're actually a literal part of the narrative, and in fact, they make this world seem more alive. Uh, you know, the Bloody Fingers faction and the Recusant faction, they're out here. They're hunting the Tarnished, you know, who are still seeking the Elden throne. And so it makes sense to come under attack from them every so often. I suppose it also helped that we did not lose a single invasion instance over the course of that whole session, and I believe there were 5 in all. I have not. You mean for PS5? I mean, I know. I suppose I probably know a couple people who know a couple things. but but I had a friend who had a modded Dreamcast, or not a modded Dreamcast, a modded Xbox, modded Wii's. I modded my own Wii at some point. Hey, hey, you know what I mean? No, I'm just kidding. But hey, check it out. We're at Fort Haight. I just wanted to check something out because I've seen on a video that the demi-humans who are garrisoned here, Y'all sleeping, right? You're not dead? Are they dead at this point again? Uh, they're all like enraged because their mother had been slain by the Godric Knight who had blood abilities on him here. Hey, oh, they're all enraged. Or at least that one is. Yeah, see, there's a dead queen one here. And they're probably not that happy about it. Hey, you guys don't want to mess me up, do you? This is foolish, I hope you know. Okay. Poor creatures. Oh, this is the Gavel of Haima. Uh, Galax RPG. I am a student of the Conspectus of Haima. Another fabulous spell from this Conspectus is my the Canon of Haima. Check this shit out. It messes stuff up. It's good. I enjoy the Conspectus of Haima. um, I guess since I'm just kind of free-flowing for now, we'll look at these spells in particular and kind of unpack them a little bit. Here's the Canon. One of the glintstone sorceries of the Academy of Rhea Lucaria. Congratulations, whoever beat a shard bearer. Lobs an explosive magic projectile that flies in an arc. Charges enhancing potency. Drawn from the Conspectus of Haima, the adjudicator of the Academy, this sorcery employs might as a means to quell conflict. This is the everybody chill out or I will explode you magic. This one's also from the same school. You have a spell that summons about 100 creepy as crawling dudes? No, I do have one that's supposed to summon, knock down most things that don't have just like insane amounts of poise, but almost anything will fall down if you manage to land a blow with this. Same flavor text, though, really. Drawn from the scholarly Conspectus of Haima, the adjudicator of the Academy, the sorcery employs might as a means to quell conflict. This one refers to the scholarly Conspectus of Haima, whereas this one just says Conspectus of Haima. Let's see here. What do I have for Spirit Ashes? Where are they at? Those are Ashes of War, blah, blah, blah. There we go. Let's see. Yeah, as far as big groups I have Wandering Nobles, Demi-Humans, of course, Wolves. What is this? Giant Rats. Let's see. Archers, Vulgar Militia. Those are fun. Mausoleum Soldiers, Halictree Soldiers, Radon Soldiers. Ooh, look at this. A Black Flame Monk. Yeah. Do I have their set? I'm interested in this. Anyway, I'm all over the map right now, but see this this corpse here, like I never really registered what it was. I figured, you know, big demi-human, sure, but this is specifically like a queen demi-human, like the kind that some even mages of Rhea Lucaria would make contact with, as evidenced by as mining in the smithing stone mines and in the glintstone shafts and stuff like that. They'll be using these, and those require intelligence 10, or excuse me, 12, which is 2 more than what that one requires. And I believe, let's see, D and C, D and B, the demi-human queen staff even scales better, although I did enhance it a little bit, so those attribute scalings would not be the original, probably. But that being said, the demi-humans I find interesting. I'm interested in most of the types of being that are, like, excluded from the Erd Tree cycle. Which, the more and more you look into the game, it's like, oh, it was really only kind of a minority out of the box. And they said, I got a package that's crushed up pretty bad. I better go check on this. I'll be... Alrighty. Well, wouldn't you know, of all packages to get crushed, it doesn't hurt for it to be a crocheted object. Hey, look, Mr. Saturn, you got a friend. Look at him, he's all... Yeah, Huami Fairy made this and sent it to me as a thanks for answering some questions, getting her started on her Etsy shop. I think it's swell. Okay, fortunately I got noise canceling on my microphone because the cats just opened the door, all bargy openy, and you know, oops, spin cycle's on. Okay, you're not here. Uh-huh. Yeah, I'll be damned. This is going to be very difficult for me to just kind of scroll through and see what's going on. Especially when I got Fruit Loops ads shouting at me. Get out of here. Mm-hmm. So, let's see. That touched Catacombs. Pretty sure we've been there. Summon Water Village. Good old Caelid. We can go for a stroll around Caelid and see what we see. I don't think I ever did clobber these guys, but this is hard because they summon like the spirits of other players to kick your ass, and that's hard. This is like Dragon Country here, which is actually very interesting to think about now that I think about it. On account of the fact that this area here very likely contained Farum Azula at some point. At least that's kind of a consensus. Why are they adding catacombs to your city? Normally they build a city on top of a catacombs. I don't know. It's one way or the other. No. Hey, what's happening, Spectrum Branch? Welcome in. I'm trying to decide where to explore and kind of what to talk about in things. You got any concepts or questions, Spectrum Branch? I wouldn't mind a somewhat of a Q&A format. Explore the ocean. Let's go to the sea. Hark. No, I'll tell you what, though. I'll take... Oh, hey, what's up, kiddo? Oh. When? Oh, okay.
For free.
Okay, cool. Thanks, kiddo. Nice. Get this kitty out of here.
And I'm matching with not a matching. And also and we're doing
That's very exciting, kiddo.
also next month I might also
Well, we'll catch up on all these big plans you're making. No,
give me a
no, 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 no,
It
no.
doesn't smell like
No, get it out of here. Here, I'll just smell the nozzle.
No, it's not smell.
Oh my god. Well, I don't want anything on me. I could see it's got glitter all up in it.
Yeah, it's shimmer.
I don't want any. Come on, get out of here.
That's right.
All right. Yeah. All right. Well, get out of here. It's beautiful. Bye. She just got back from the mall with her friends. Just middle school kiddos. I did not want spray shimmer on me. I'm like, get it away. Let's see. Ooh, the black knife. People. Black. Man, I asked her to close my door. Or did I? It's like maximum noise out there. Black Knife Quiche people are really interesting. You feel they're an important driving part of the story. Ooh, yeah, okay, well, and so to understand them, their whole deal is the Night of the Black Knives, right? Yeah. Yeah, give me a second, and I'll get up high, and we can look at the ocean while we talk about the Night of the Black Knives a little bit, I guess. Uh. So the Night of the Black Knives is kind of a inciting incident for the whole plot, really. Uh, you got the Shattering is the big event of the plot, right? America, for whatever reason, shatters the Elden Ring, and war breaks out between her demigod children, who have each all somehow inherited a chunk of the Elden Ring as referred to as a great shard, as part of the process of the shattering, whatever happened after America smashed it, right? And well, that big war has kind of resulted in the present state of the lands between. But one of the things that people think caused or motivated America to shatter the Elden Ring was that it was her reaction to the Night of the Black Knives. But for now, it's pictures taken instantaneously. I am a photographic genius. If I do said so myself. Wait, did I say that right? If I do say so myself, please everybody get ready for an instant memory. And type into the chat, please, fuzzy shards. I did. I even said great shard. Even. It's with the D, but it still means poop. All right, hold on. I'm getting up the hill because I want a view. I want a view. I want a view. View. Dun 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 dun. T-pose. There we go. We did it. Oh, I hope. Oh, I think people might have got pushed off. No, we're good. We're good. Oh, I guess I should turn off that event message, huh? That'll probably make sense. Thank you so much, Ducky, for the redemption. Let me do a little bit of stream maintenance live. Also, paste that photograph. What happened? Where'd it go? Did it not? Didn't. Oh, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh, yes, it didn't. Well, I'll have to. This is unfortunate. Ducky, I'm going to set myself a reminder right here in Program. Salvage. Ducky. There. I don't know what that means. Streamlabs photobomb. No, what happened is, for whatever reason, it didn't, when I hit control screen grab, it didn't screen grab. That's okay. Alright. Not alert box, damn it. This is a cloud bot function. Let off. Oh wait, no, there they are. Oh no! Everything broke. We're back. We are back. God damn it. I hate my internet so bad. Uh, I'm just trying to turn off my thing. There it goes. Exactly. Alright, that'll do. But thank you so much, Ducky, for the redemption. Let me give you a shout out. It'll be easy enough to find what with the hilarious message associated with it. What's up, Roxas? How are you? Shout out my friend Spectrum Branch. But yes, we were talking about the Night of the Black Knives. This is an event that's one of the things featured in the game's intro cutscene, even. The whole thing is the Black Knife assassins rode around one night, ambushed Godwin the Golden, presumably eldest son, or at least eldest, like, non-Omen born son of Marika and Godfrey, and killed him. And he was the first demigod to die. Now, that was a very, very big deal, right? By this time in the timeline, Marika had removed the Rune of Death from the Elden Ring, and Mariketh, her shadow, the big crazy dog thing, they've hidden away the Rune of Death. And so it took somebody stealing a fragment of it in order to make these black knives that the Black Knife assassins used to slay Godwin, and not only slay him, but conduct a ritual to carve the centipede mark of death, or whatever it is. Getting the glue ready, sweet. Luster sword snapped off the back of the cloud I sent them. And so yeah, it was a huge, like, assassination plot, and it turns out it wasn't even Godwin the Golden by himself who got wasted. In fact, I probably should have went to a different divine tower altogether. Because at the exact same moment that that Godwin was being jumped on by Black Knife assassins, and you know what? We could dress as them for the purposes of this discussion, because they dress cool. I think I have their gear. At that exact same moment, when they're carving half of the symbol into the back of Godwin, Ronnie, Lunar Princess Ronnie, is up on top of this tower, getting the other half of the symbol carved in her. And it causes a situation where, just it? No. Causes a situation where, Godwin the Golden dies in soul, and Ronnie dies in body. Here we go. Black Knife Hood. Should be a little easier to find. Yeah, Black Knife Armor. We're already wearing the gauntlets and the boots. Oh, I guess we can put on the knife, too. Now we're talking. Of course, I'm not a Newman woman. So it is what it is, but... So the effect of the death rune being created and split between two people was that this person, this is the body of Lunar Princess Rani, died in body, and Godwin the Golden died in soul, but his body persists in a weird undead state. Now, the actual people who did the carving of the centipede mark of death, there you go. Any relation to Sekiro centipedes that live forever? I think we can get into that a little bit. Symbol of impurity and all that jazz. But yeah, there's no. I don't think there's anything specifically saying that uh, who or how Ronnie was done in and given her part of the curse mark, which you can see here. We got sort of a semicircle with radial spokes poking out from it, sort of like a house centipede. And in Godwin, the other semicircle is the other half of the semicircle is carved in him with a similar pattern, just mirrored. And so why was this whole setup? Why would this be? Well, Ronnie had a big time interest in not having a body no more. Um, the top of the other divine tower we were just on had a two fingers corpse on it. Uh, the two fingers are like intermediaries between the phenomenon of the greater will and the Erd tree, and the priesthood of the order in power at the time, and in this case, it's the Golden Order. Uh, Ronnie was selected to be an Empyrean, and an Empyrean is like, okay, you're a demigod, sure, but now you're a little extra. You're a candidate to be a god. America is a god in this setting, and is for all we know that to be a god in this setting is to be the vessel of the Elden Ring. Ronnie wasn't into that. For whatever reason, she was sure enough that among the other Empyreans of her time, which included Mikola and Millennia, you know, Mikola, who was stolen from the Halig tree, and Millennia, who kills everybody a million times. Hello, Majin Buu. Uh, she was also an Empyrean, and I guess she was so sure that she would be the one chosen to be the Elden Ring's next vessel that she decided to prevent this through this grand plot. Ronnie herself even claims to have been the one personally responsible for snatching a piece of the Rune of Death in order to create the Black Knives. I'm wielding one of them now. Oops. And, either she forged them from scratch or took, a base knife uh, and later adapted it, sort of reforged it, and enchanted it with this fragment of the Rune of Death, giving it the power to kill. Uh, and she distributed them among the Black Knife assassins themselves, who we know are of quote unquote Newman stock. And this is actually the same kind of people that Marika is before Marika became a god and all that stuff. Let's read this here. Dagger once belonging to the assassins who murdered Godwin the Golden on the night of the Black Knives. A ritual performed on the oddly misshapen blade imbued it with the power of the stolen Rune of Death. And it does this shit. It's pretty cool. I like the Black Knives. They're vicious looking weapons and they have a sweet attack. And suffice it to say, they are ritual instruments for altering the very fabric of reality, because the fallout of Ronnie's choice here to basically. And what was Ronnie's fate? Well, her spirit lived on. And she had herself basically a mannequin worked up and ready to go for her to inhabit. Uh, that body doesn't seem entirely, super duper capable. However, I mean, I guess it is just a doll. She's as frail as what's her name, Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas, probably, you know. Uh, but that's okay. She's got backup. But anyway, so she set herself up to be basically disqualified for Empyrean. Mission accomplished. Hooray. And she only did it by killing her half brother, Godwin, in an elaborate political plot that involved several historical enemies of the Erd Tree, including the present day Nox, who are believed to be descendants of America's people, the Newmen, who have experienced a history of not getting along with the Two Fingers and had been banished underground as a result. We're talking about the Eternal Cities now. The Black Knife Assassin themselves are probably Nox women from the Eternal Cities. Uh, they might even be of Sword Maiden stock. Wonder if we can go find a Sword Maiden. They're very strong. But in fact, we'll go a looking around Eternal Cities stuff pretty soon here. But yeah, because you can imagine, like, because at the same moment, a whole cadre of, like, I think it's a dozen or so Black Knife Assassins or more, uh, maybe, I don't know, 10 or so, I can't remember the exact number, uh, are raiding Landell way over there, finding Godwin wherever the hell he is, presumably somewhere in Landell, because they were able to infiltrate using magics that concealed their identities and everything, you know, made them outright invisible. And indeed, when you fight some Black Knife assassins out in the world, some of them are utterly invisible. Like not even predator shimmer. They're just like they're just not there. And and in fact, this stealth technique was so unanticipated and so effective that the Golden Order invented a countermeasure specifically for it. I just gotta find it in my inventory. Here it is. Sentry's Torch. Torch given to protectors of the Erd Tree. Its flames are bestowed with a special incantation that allows the bearer to see assassins cloaked in veils. Furnished on behalf of the Erd Tree and the grace-given Lord. Such a Knight of the Black Knives will never come again. Now that term, grace-given Lord, that's a specific reference to the Veiled Monarch, so-called Veiled Monarch of Leandel, who we know to be Margot, who the general public doesn't really understand as an omen. And when they see Margit running around, they think that's just an omen who's been conscripted into the Golden Order's forces, just defending. They don't understand that that's Margot, or however you pronounce it. I mean, it's like, it's silly, right? Who wouldn't put two and two together on that one? Like, you don't think he's the king, do you? Like, but it definitely reflects the kind of mentality of the people of the Golden Order at that point in history, who are just so wrapped up in their own shit that they can't really understand that the world doesn't fit their worldview. And Margit is an ironic character because he's an omen. He's rejected by the Erd Tree just on principle, right? The Golden Order shuns him, whether or not people accept him, you know? Uh, and yet he supports the Golden Order because he believes that's just the way it is, and it's his duty to uphold that for some reason. So you can see, like, all the different children of America have all these, like, wildly divergent motivations and things. And this whole deathless era that preceded Ronnie's actions, I believe, takes place in a time period between the fall of the quote-unquote Glomide Queen and the death and the Godskins, and and her actions here, because it was America's response to the Glomide Queen and defeating her and all that stuff that ended up resulting in the Rune of Death getting taken out of the equation to begin with. And so Ronnie's plot ultimately is like almost like fate itself doing its damnedest to put the rune of death back into play. But that's Ronnie. Let's go look at the other half of this situation. No problem. No problem. Speaking of centipedes and crap and vermin and impure and stagnation and all that stuff. Oh, that scared me. Uh Here we have Godwin the Golden himself, whose body has never died, just as soul did, and it continues to grow and grow and grow, corrupted, exuding what's known as deathroot, and indeed corrupting the entire Erd Tree root, that he was buried in. Oh, right. Yeah, I mean, I got most of the equipment going on, so I figured, fuck it, might as well dress the part. How you doing, Jimma? Good to see you. We were just looking at Ronnie, and now we can look at Godwin. I think the curse mark is apparent on our Lord Godwin the Golden here. Like, this is an incredible sight, right? Like, this is crazy shit. We shall see, won't we? In not too long, the DLC will be upon us. I don't know, the curse mark should be there. And I guess if I really wanted to, I can kind of force myself to see a semicircular thing, but I don't know, probably people who have set this visual up better than I have perhaps drawn it in. Yeah, I mean, just look at all the flies and everything. Like, why did he become a merman? Is very, like, that's intensely crazy and interesting, right? And I mean, it looks as if he has a robe covering, parts of him here. It even looks like this robe has designs on it. It's not just like crud. Yeah, see here, center of frame, that looks like some, like, stitching on a fringe that was once there. Like, this is part of his burial shroud. Also, why is his face under storm wind? Ugh. That part's really weird to me. Um, the best explanation I've heard is that the manifestations of Deathroot we see out in the world, the big, like, kind of almost pyramid shaped spikes of it you see in, like, the stagnant ponds. There's usually a mariner cruising around that you got to kill. Um, that those are like actual manifestations of Godwin appearing in those places. If you look closely at those nodules, you'll even see eyes upon them, like we see Godwin's eyes here, right? Uh, there's a place over here on this big chunk of Deathroot where you can just see big ass eyes. There they are. There they are. See, that one's all well lit and everything. Center of frame. Like Muppet eyes. His eyes are crying. Excuse me. And the crabs that have death the blight have his face on their back and stuff as well. So the best theory I've heard really is that okay, that thing that's in the basement of Stormveil is just one of those things that's just kept going and been allowed to develop further. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, the things I think about that make me doubt it is like, okay, where's the rest of the death route? Uh, other parts of it make me think, okay, where are those who live in death? Shouldn't the place be infested with them? But now that I've had those thoughts, uh, 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 I have a reason or two to suspect that uh, Deathroot infested the place during the Shattering, and when Godwin took over the place, he had his, Golden Order Death Hunters scour the place, and we'll visit that. We'll visit that later if I remember to. But yeah, this is another victim of the Night of the Black Knight. Well, the primary victim. However, the Night of the Black Knives is said to have killed perhaps hundreds of demigods. I believe, an interview or descriptive material that's like official, published from software stuff, uh, says that uh, countless demigods died on that night. Too far, beyond America, too far and too numerous uh, to be covered by even America's divine protection. And so it was like the the Black Knife assassins themselves probably didn't know or understand what Ronnie's actual motives were. They probably thought of it as some sort of open declaration of war against the Erdtree, uh, in an attempt to redeem the Nox who had been banished by the Two Fingers and the Greater Will to exist underground all those ages ago. Whenever that was. I believe that had something to do with the Godskin apostasy, though. But yeah. And so through this action, like Godwin gets it, right? He still looks pretty normal. He's got the curse mark in his back, but people are in a panic. They don't know what to do. When normal champions who aren't demigods and humans die, in combat, which apparently was a thing, but you got stuffed in the Erdtree roots, usually in root tree catacombs somewhere across the realm, because the damn roots extend everywhere. Uh, and so since Godwin the Golden is a demigod of extreme importance, he was buried like right next to the trunk of the Erdtree, real close, right? And my belief is that he was stuffed in there as part of Erdtree burial, with them not really understanding that he was going to corrupt the entire system with Deathroot when they did that. Uh, which is interesting, right? So I think over here we can see an example of a reaction to the reality that you can't put dead demigods in Erdtree roots. And this is sort of an explanation for the walking mausoleums. Here's the George R. R. Martin possible interpolitics. Right, yeah, it's all over the place. This is like I for one am just pleased as punch that George R. R. Martin said, you know what? Fuck Game of Thrones. I'm doing this crazy shit instead. And we are culturally richer for it. What a grand choice as an artist he made. But yeah, here's our modern, quote unquote, modern solution to what do we do with the dead demigods that we can't stuff into the roots. Uh, and indeed, probably letting them hit the ground at all lets the death root claim them or whatever, and the problem gets worse faster. And so they stuff demigods in there, and they don't derez in these walking mausoleums to keep them up off the ground, and in a way that keeps them from doing this shit until a solution is found for their undeath, I believe. And indeed, you find like the bodies of the unnamed demigods inside those mausoleums have been beheaded, and there's all kinds of other little details too. But as far as I can figure, the walking mausoleums are meant to be a solution to the problem of what do we do with the corrupted dead of dead demigods. I'm seeing a little right stick funniness in my controller. I don't like that one bit. Anyway. And so, yeah, Deathroot became a problem, and those who live in death became a problem at that point. And America, like one of the things that people point to as the motivation for America finally shattering the Elden Ring was like, oh no, Night of the Black Knives happened. My son Godwyn the Golden is slain. Deathroot is spreading. Shit's fucked. I shouldn't have took the Death Rune out of the Elden Ring, but the Golden Order ain't gonna let us put it back in. And indeed Radigan, America's other aspect, is like basically the personification of the Golden Order, which is why he doesn't want to do that. There ain't no putting the death back in because that contravenes the whole thing. And it's like a principle of the thing for Radigan, whereas America's like, no, we got to do the hard part to fix things. And yeah, my right thumbstick is acting a little funky. Some people have suspected that, but looking closer, it doesn't look like Deathroot. I think it was going to be something else altogether. But let's go to Stormveil and go look at that other thing. Stormveil is like one of the most unbelievably rich areas of the game. I think we have to start here. Uh, and in fact, on Saturday night, when me and Captain Sekatai get back to our co-op lore adventures, um, it'll take place here in Stormveil, and it'll probably be the entire session. You know what? I think I want to carry my what are they? Bastard stars or whatever the hell that weapon's called? Where is it? Oh, I was gonna say, why can't I see this? Yeah, there we go. There we go. We're on medium load? With the black knife set on? That's pretty cool. I'm gonna go back to my regular duds, though. Do. There we go. So we're gonna go down and have a look-see at the apparition, for lack of a better word, of Godwyn we see down here, which I've always found is a very confusing thing. Oh, I only have one of these? Oh, I can make them? Sweet. Alright. But how do I use one? Oh, because I'm in the crafting menu like an idiot. Alright. There we go. Oh, I think people have ruled out Deathroot as being whatever it is that's strangling the Erd Tree in the DLC promo material. And indeed, I don't see it. I think it's going to be something else altogether. But I think... Oops! That's fine. We're wearing the... We got the soft cotton on our boots. What is the game volume, by the way? I think it's okay. Oh, forgot about you. Hello. Oop. Alright. This is a particularly interesting little pocket down here as well. It's tricky to get to. And there's a lot happening here. We have what looks to be Like a root catacombs access, you know. Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of this one, the Bastard Stars. When you first come down here, it has one of those rotted tree blight things. It looks like a big dragon made out of a tree root. We see bones piled up. We see ghost flame. Oops, excuse me. We see Erdtree roots. Erdtree spirit. Yeah, that's what those things are. They're bastards. Uh, I believe they breathe gold fire, too, now that I'm thinking about it. We see these things, which we don't really see anywhere else in the game, so far as I'm aware. Is they look like little boats. But they are of a strange design, you know. Now, I don't believe many boats are constructed with planks perpendicular to the length of the vessel, right? Or at least not on this scale, right? That would be something that a keel, you know, that you would do for a big ship that you lay a keel for. Right? Canoes are usually dug out of a single trunk. Small boats are usually like slats of wood in parallel to the length of the vessel. It was a finished version of an enemy that was cut from Dark Souls 3. Neat. Uh, some have said that these are perhaps even like fruit pods, or like seed pods, like you know, like peas or beans or something. Don't spill your beans. And I'm looking at them real closely now to kind of see if I can decide if that's a fact or not. I guess it could be true. They look like they're natural, right? Their morphology could be that of like a seed pod. There's even like kind of a little circular divot here on this end that looks like sometimes where, you know, where you pull a stem off of something, it'll leave a little circular impression. And it seems to have perhaps split along a seam the way a bean pod would. And I want to see if there's any differences. This end lacks the semicircular part. And indeed, the stem end would be the same end as the head if this were the stem end. Okay, so implications, right? Alright, so these are seed pods with skeletons in them? What the fuck? Where did they fall from? Did they fall from above? And land here? Let's see if they all have the head towards stem end feature. So far, 100%. I mean, they're all part of it's the same model being reused, of course, but, you know, From Software pays attention to shit like this when doing environmental storytelling, which is what justifies the many hundreds of hours of YouTube content, which is people like doing what I'm doing right now. But yeah, it totally looks like we're suddenly in a root catacombs. And sure enough, you fight a spirit. And then sure enough, you see this. Emerging through the wall. Like, okay, if we contextualize this, right? Either this chamber was the original root chamber, or this was an antechamber to this room, which was the root chamber. Although I'm thinking it was probably that one. And then this thing apparently emerged from the walls. I remember the first time I discovered this thing, I was like, what the fuck is this? Yeah. You said it bleeds? It's juicy. You can hear it when you step on it that it's juicy. Sure enough, it bleeds. So it's fleshy, contains blood. Its tendrils that emit from its freakish-looking mouth are thorny, just like the death root. No, and its face is like that of Godwyn the Golden's. Like, it's just missing the hair and like a couple other features. This third eye feature, though, is really curious to me. But what's really noticeable about this guy is his eyes seem to be missing. Godwyn had big gray eyes. And indeed, the death root we discover everywhere has big gray eyes in it. They seem to be missing from this one. You know, and since there's nothing that lives in death down here, like, right, you fight the Erdtree spirit, which indicates that it's probably the ghost of the roots that died as part of being replaced by Godwyn over there, or that aspect of Godwyn, or whatever you want to call it. But you never fight any skeletons or anything down here. All these guys are super dead, like for real dead. But it's almost as if, yeah, and the root spirit thing itself has deathblight. But yeah, it's almost as if these pods come a-floating out from here and drift over here. Right? Where they seem to collect. And we also have a commoner or two just down here. And all the dead rats. I presume the rats and the commoner are recent kills by the tree spirit that's down here. But I really feel like these things kind of emit from the face of Godwyn there somehow and come along. But, you know, you would expect them to kind of get up and walk around maybe, right? And be undead things infest in the joint, but they aren't. But tying this with the Night of the Black Knives, other than, of course, being the event that led to the tragic undeath of Godwyn the Golden, and thus precipitating and stuff like this, you know, is that now there's this entire way of being and living, right? To live in death, where your soul dies, but your body lives on. Oops. I slipped. Let's climb the Snake Eater ladder, and because I'm trying to think, there's actually some relationship, I believe, to what's going on down here and what's happening up here. Yeah, I'd be really curious to see if those, like, skeleton pods, I guess we can call them, occur anywhere else, or if there's some way to explain them. But let's see, let's think. It could be a scenario where after the shattering in Stormveil Castle, you know, presumably during the good times, you know, there wasn't much happening in Stormveil Castle. You know, once Godfrey conquered the lands between Fermerica and then got banished, and Radigan did war in Liurnia, just to the north, Stormveil was probably pretty quiet, right? And then the Night of the Black Knives happens. The Shattering happens, presumably right after that. Uh, and the Children of America basically go to their respective places of in and kind of dig in for the fights to come, right? And so between there's a first defense of Landell that happens, right? I forget who attacks Landell outright, but Landell's defense holds. But during that time, Godric the Golden absconds from Landell, and according to Kenneth Haidt, hid himself among the womenfolk to escape the town, and made his way to Stormveil and based up there. And it's unclear though when he starts grafting, right? Because if he's hiding himself among the womenfolk, if he's a big grafted thing, that's going to be a bit trickier, right? But it's insinuated that his his I guess uncle Godefroy the Golden, who is in an Everjail over here, I believe, uh, was responsible for the attack that led to the first defensive Landell. And he's a grafted person. Like, he uses the exact same model as Godric in the game. But it's, I mean, that's, I guess, meant to indicate that they were already getting into grafting by that point, or at least Godefroy did, and by the time Godric got here to Stormveil, he decided to get into it, because he's very much into it here. It could be that in between the Shatter, or in between the Night of the Black Knives and Godric moving in here, which could be a significant amount of time, like it could be many years, uh, the Deathroot might have got here and developed and got to that stage. Here's his nose. Um, got to this stage before Godric moved in. And then when Godric moved in, he's like, well, I can't have those who live in death here because Godric's all in a golden order. So he probably sent his minions down here to fuck shit up. Where they probably slayed all of those who lived in death. Probably removed the eyes out of this apparition of Godwyn here, which might be the effective way of terminating a death root, maybe. Who knows? And that would explain why it's not active anymore and why those who live in death can't be found here. But I guess they couldn't do anything about the Erd Tree spirit. But alright, like, okay, yeah, check this shit out. There is something happening here, right? So we are in a chamber above the what have you, which is inaccessible from down here, but is a place where there is a libation statue, a hooded libation statue. So this is probably not Marika, or if it is, it's a representation of her during the Saint and Tree period, which is the period that includes the Crucible. The period that saw Stormveil get built, or Stormveil. Now there's two trees here. And I mean, they look like they could be the sort that minor Erd trees are. And what the Erd tree is. They're dead. Wish it was daytime. Let's see. Let's go here and see if we can look down upon them. Hmm. Here we go. Yeah, there's one there. You know what? Let's sit at the gray site until it's fucking daytime, because it's hard to see this stuff at night. Good Morgan. There it is. Alright, how do we get over there again? Pretty sure I could just run and jump that, right? Or no, I have to go up. Easy peas. Oh. Ow. There you go. Ow. Did I go the right way? I don't think I did. Hello? I hear you tromping around in your armor. I just want to talk. No? Okay. You must be below me. I'm misremembering where the soldier I'm hearing is, but that's okay. Hello, everyone. I'm glad you can make it. All right. Ooh, okay, look, there's the ladder that leads down to Godwin's face. Not enough. But yeah, here's the... Uh-oh. Jesus. What did they do to these poor birds that gives them that fire-breathing ability? Looks like some kind of golden mask with, like, equipment on it. They equipped him with a Zippo lighter. Those animals. Alright, there we go. And indeed, look at the leaves. Oh, well. Game doesn't want us to look at the leaves. Sorry. How about if I do this? But I would say that these leaves are the same as Erd tree leaves. Like, these might be minor Erd trees. Trees this, trees that. It's always trees. Or are they just this variety? Didn't occur to me that the courtyard's lined with the things. Same kind. But again, this fortress dates back to a time when there was no Erd tree. There indeed probably was a different great tree of some variety, or even a few? Eh. You know, either that or they just venerated tree worship in general, you know, as opposed to just a singular great tree. You know, think polytheism versus monotheism. Anyway, here's a banished knight. Oop. Ow. 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 Oh! Wow, he kept it coming, didn't he? Alright, Mr. Fancy Pants. These guys are neat. They're definitely the toughest mobs in the place, and indeed probably part of the more or less original garrison of the place. And probably even had loyalties to the so-called Storm Lord before they had loyalty to Godfrey and the Golden Order. Because this castle was conquered by Godfrey at one point, meaning it pre-existed him even. But let's see, let's think about it. There's got to be... How many strata are we talking about here in Stormveil? We got to talk about its original strata, presumably created by the Stormlord, which presumably dates back to even the ancient dynasty. Or at least the decline of that period. But then there's nothing in here to suggest that there's ancient dynasty construction. So probably after that even. We're going to get so much out of the DLC that, like, all this speculation, we're going to be going, oh, man, we spent so much time thinking about the wrong shit. But let's see. We have its original construction, which we can say is the Stormlord. We have its occupation by Godfrey, which I guess we should go over here to see that part of it. Oh, hi, Godric. That one guy isn't stamping on you anymore. Alright. So, here's the throne room. And there's some questions as to the stratigraphy of this room, and there's Kenneth Haight. And what parts of it were added on by Godric when he arrived here, because Godric clearly brought things from Landel. You know, he brought artifacts, he brought furniture, he brought statuary, and I believe this statue here, which is a golden scion statue, referring to the initial branch that arose from the crucible to eventually become the Erd tree, is superimposed in front of this mural that we see behind him that has other iconography. Like, I don't see trees on there. I don't see much else. I see figures holding shields with inscriptions behind them that look like they could be like wings, that look like they're meant to give you the impression of wings anyway, maybe. We see robed figures. Let me get a little closer to that because that's very interesting. Hopefully we can see it better. Robed figures standing, and some are sitting. Others are hand on their shoulder. Oops, excuse me. Let's see here. I'm going to enhance this one. Enhance. Enhance it more. So yeah, we see what look like feminine figures on the far right, one standing in sort of a stretch or dancing kind of pose, one kneeling, two tall figures, one facing us, one facing the figure that's facing us, also robed. Can't make out what's in their hands though, if anything. And indeed, the figure that's facing us seems to have a figure behind him at his waist, uh, uh, grasping at his robes from behind. Like, what is going on with this mural? It's fabulous. I love it. There's a seated person with, and indeed from this side we can see the figure who's grasping the central figure more clearly. Uh, and we see the standing figure who appears to be a woman, and a seated figure. And then on the far left, we have what appears to be a person holding a gigantic chalice. Super neat. Another thing I find neat is that on these Scion statues, to kind of shift focus, the faces always look all extra wrinkly and weird. I'm sure that means something. But give me a minute, gang. I'm going to go use the bathroom. And yeah, we got quite a bit of time left to go. Okay. Ooh, and look at that. Behind him, we see a representation of a tree. Probably not the Erd tree, though. Fabulous. Let's see what else we could look at while we're in enhanced zoom in mode. Huh? I thought you ate while you were out. Jesus. Well, if you're hungry, go make yourself grilled cheese or some shells and cheese. Yeah. All right. So, Godfrey's statue here looks a little bit more built in. Whoops. I should probably zoom out now. Especially owing to the fact that the Siraj component of the statue appears to be built into the back. And this is a depiction of Lord Godfrey with Siraj as he would have appeared at the height of his power, perhaps after conquering Stormveil even. And yeah, there's like it's almost like they're emerging from a cavern that's behind him. And you can see quite a bit of detail with Siraj. Like this is pretty close to like Godfrey's actual in-game model, but here we can see Siraj's forelimbs, one down on the ground, even making contact with the ground, and another hanging 10 right there. I don't know. This could have been put after though, like right? Like this particular one could have been dug out because it's like anything that's missing that like looks like it would if it were similar to these other backgrounds looks like it's been dug away, like chiseled out, and then this statue put in its place. Like that's possible, I guess. Let's see. On the floor we have twin lion symbology on the floor here. That's more Godfrey stuff. The lion, Siraj, you know. And indeed, an Elden throne. Only one of 2 in game. The other one is, of course, in Landell. And what I've always found curious about the Elden Throne is that it shows 2 trees. Right? Like, the back of this chair has a repeated image rather than a singular tree, right? I mean, they could have just as easily come up with some sort of motif. You know, unless the chair, I mean, it is a big chair, but it doesn't look quite large enough. I mean, it looks probably just barely large enough to accommodate Godfrey, honestly. You know, definitely not 2 people. Don't mind me, Nefeli. And indeed, it looks, of course, like the throne is plunked in here on top of some other details that we can never see because they're obscured by the throne itself. And I just noticed something interesting about the bit that's obscured by the throne itself. It's the lion. Could the Storm Lord be Siraj? I mean, we know Siraj to be called a lord. Because, I mean, there's lions all over this structure, right? And there's great tree depictions and stuff. And it was garrisoned by the banished knights. See, these statues were added after the fact. These are later. We could tell that we know they're later because they, well, I know what they represent, and they come from a later time period than when this place was built. But they're also superimposed over these pointed arch windows that are more representative of Eternal City construction. But here's one of my favorite great tree representations. I really like this one. It's mysterious to me. I don't necessarily think it's the Erd tree. It could be the great tree that preceded the Erd tree, if that is such a thing. But it's on every facet of this tower, the central keep, right? Well, throne room or whatever. Guess I'm doing a little prep for Saturday's expedition with the captain. But we also have just this insane rift. Like, look how corrupted it is here. You can even see it. Just on the map. Like, what would be the point of this here? Between here and the wall? The wall goes down that far? Like, there's been a massive cave-in here. And indeed, this is on the same side of the castle that Godwin is in. I believe he's, I wish I would have cross-referenced him on the map when we were there earlier. But I think it's, like, in this area. Pretty much where this Grace is, ironically. But, I mean, I would presume this cave-in is all part of that. You know, we can see the inner wall and the outer wall probably features the same kind of cave-in. The wall here has just become completely corrupted and rotten, even. Like, look at that. They all have this same slant when you view them, right? They all have this common angle. It's almost a 45-degree diagonal. Oops, I almost fucking died. All right. That's the same deal here. These trees here even look corrupted and weird. Like, look at this. Gotta say, I've never really closely examined this courtyard before. Try giant pickle? Okay. Facing this tower. That tower. Again, just a abyss. Let's go look at the other side. Same deal, essentially, right? Like, it's as if the throne room itself is being strangled by whatever corruption is coming here. It doesn't look like artillery, right? It doesn't look like cannonry or even spellcraft. Maybe. I mean, I suppose spells could do this, maybe? But it just looks like festering wounds, you know? Like maybe there was initial impacts, but since this whole castle seems to be like corrupted, perhaps the wounds are like infected and acting like festering wounds or something like that. But yeah, this is, oh look, there's somebody fighting Godric now. Good luck, pal. You can do it. Uh, this is where you fight Godric the Golden. We can go look at his corpse, I guess, if we want to. But he based up in Stormveil here to, because it was like a convenient way for him to claim legitimacy as a descendant of Godfrey, right? Uh, I'm gonna take one of Godfrey's former, throne holds or whatever, and occupy it. It was probably empty or, very lightly garrisoned or just at least fell out of importance at the time. And he took up residence here and apparently started grafting himself like crazy. Didn't you, Godric? Here's Godric. Hi, Godric. Weakest of the demigods. He looks almost like wood. Doesn't he? Time for fingers. And we see him during the fight graft the head of this here dragon onto his arm. And it's kind of meant to show that, the depths of the depravity he's fallen to. But listen, he also refers to this dragon as being a true-born something or other. What's Godric's dialogue? Let me look it up. Thou art a true-born heir, I think he says. Mighty dragon, thou art a true-born heir. Lend me my strength, O kindred. Deliver me unto greater heights. And it's funny that he says that, like, you know, like, most players and anybody who's, like, paying attention enough would go, like, oh, he's just, like, he's referring to dragons in general. But this is a special dragon, isn't it? It has feathers. It has feathers. Which I believe definitely, like, links dragons and hawks in this game, you know. Miyazaki's telling kind of, like, not only, like, a history of, you know, well, human history, he's also telling the story of the world's history on a cosmic level, too, you know, and geologic timescale, where the dragons represent, like, you know, previous epochs of other animals, you know, the dinosaurs in particular, to the point where the hawks are like the dragon's modern day descendants. Like the way in reality, the modern day birds are just a surviving lineage of dinosaur. So, you know, that story is being told in part as well. And, you know, it kind of goes to show uh you know that this location Stormveil, its occupation and usage as a site probably stretches all the way back to the you know the time of Placidusax, the ancient dragon, as Elden Lord, and whoever his queen was. She's not named, but she is mentioned. But yeah, so much going on here in Stormveil, and I guess it begs the question. And indeed, we're given a bit of an answer through superposition of what happened to this here dragon. It's impaled upon a particular type of statue. This is the type of statue in question, and this is a tree sentinel statue. A statue dedicated to those warriors that you sometimes see on horseback, with the great big, you can see the crest over its helm. They wear heavy armor and defend the Erd tree stalwartly, right? And these statues were obviously placed after tree sentinels became a thing, which is after the Erd tree, which is either in the immediate aftermath of Godfrey's conquest of the place or when Godric moved in. I'm willing to think it's probably when Godfrey took the place, the earlier of the two. But that means it was here for this dragon to be impaled upon. Now, all other things considered, this dragon looks to be relatively fresh, right? I bet you it bleed. Yeah, like this is a freshly dead dragon. Uh so unless it's like a those who live in death kind of scenario, uh this dragon was slain by Godric, or you know his forces when they took over the place, or conversely could have been there ever since Godfrey took over. But I don't think that. I don't think they would have left that there so unceremoniously. I believe this to be the handiwork of Godric, perhaps catching the dragon flat-footed. This might have been who was in charge of Stormveil when Godric took over during the time of the Shattering. Could be. I wonder if Nefeli Lou and Kenneth have anything interesting to say about such things. Also, I want to take a look at this healthy tree. Same variety. But you can really tell the difference between the dead ones and the living ones. This thing's bark is nice and smooth. In fact, I mean, this looks like a mini tree. Not gonna lie. And then we got this guy who's, you know, is starting to show. What else do we got? That's of note here. We got large dying or dead trees. Kind of like what we see around the Moangrave site behind Castle Morn. Same deal over here. This is like a different kind of tree as well. And indeed seem older. It almost seems like these trees here are transplants. The younger, healthier ones. Smashed tombstone beneath it. That would indicate that the room was made for it, or that when it grew a little bigger, it knocked it over. I don't know. There are only 2 living trees? That one and that one. I guess there's another one over here. At any rate, the dead trees outnumber the living trees. Neat. Yeah, I never really took this area in before. I guess I got a little laundry list of things to draw Captain's attention to as we wander through in our own travels. Perhaps we should take our... Nah, that'll be alright. We can explore it that way. What else is there to think about then? Like, yeah, that's crazy. Look how corrupted that is. Like, look, here's normal shoreline, right? Even cliffs and stuff like that. The broadside of Stormveil Castle has this, like, hint to it. Oh, man, I want to go to the Church of Anticipation. Oh, man. How do you get there? I think you can get there through the 4 belfries. I think. I don't remember which one it is, though. Also, the fucking 4 belfries. I always forget about this place. Except when I'm thinking about how to get to the Chapel of Anticipation. Get a load of this MFing, feature here. Tangled branches and a bearded, robed man emerging therefrom on structures that are like Eternal City in design and indeed in purpose. Because let's see. Each one of them either contains a treasure. I believe there were stone sword keys in here. Hey, look at this, a pewter dish. Yeah, this is Eternal City stuff. Bird leaf flower. Whoops. And yeah, see these like these teleporters, this is Eternal City technology here. Or it might even probably dates back even further because it would have to be in conjunction with the society who built the root catacombs initially. which would have been the ancient Newman. And that makes sense. And they introduced the concept of tree worship when they arrived from wherever they came from. No, that's not the one I wanted. This just lets us get to a Crucible Night for some reason. But yeah, sure enough, we teleported to Nokron, the Eternal City, didn't we? Now, why, oh why, oh why, one might ask, would that teleporter bring us here? Like, all this stuff is, ancient dynasty stuff, like this aqueduct and things like that. And here beyond it, you can see Eternal City stuff, which is what the Nox made. And there's a stark difference in the architecture. But you can see that there used to be bridges here. Apparently one led right on over to where Moog is. Mogwin Palace. Whoa, that was crazy. All right. Just having a look before I dip. Go back to Fort Belfries and take the next one. Fort Belfries even have their own special map icon, which I find interesting as well. Okay. He doesn't know how to use the Fort Belfries. Now, those hawks we find in, like, Stormveil and other places, they're, like, superior to whatever these hawks are. What does it mean? I think it's an Eternal City reference to the iconography of the ancient Dynas, the so-called Elden John figure uh, that we see in other places. Hey, thank you, Dobie. Thank you so much. That was a lot of fun. There we are. Now we're at the Chapel of Anticipation. This is where I wanted to be. Too bad it's a shitty, ugly day. You can't really see Stormveil too well from here. Yeah, my right stick is getting a little wonky. It's not like drift, it's just like an odd reset it's doing. It's probably just like a fragment of plastic got in the little potentiometers or whatever the fuck. I'm pretty sure I slayed the spider already. But yeah, this is where you get ganked in the beginning of the game. And it's like a really crazy location. Like, there's a lot happening here. Here's a depiction of the Elden Ring. With the kind of Golden Order style version of it. Very interesting, though. The rest of the composition of this engraving here, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, you know, Stormveil is aptly named because it is consistently veiled by a storm, right? Haha. Here we see the iconography that ties this location to Stormveil. That this place's initial construction coincided with Stormveil, or at least Godfrey's initial occupation of Stormveil. Damn, can't really see it, can we? What's that? Stormveil Cliffside. We'll go down there. But yeah, we raised a ton of bucks for Diabetes Research Institution Foundation. Oh, I remember how to get down there now. What is that a statue of? On that, though. I forget what weird-ass path you have to take to get there, but it's like, it's crazy. There's a chapel of anticipation. The ground upon which it rests, a huge, crazy, improbable spire of stone. In fact, it's a twin spire, with the other half of the site over there. Tree Sentinel statue, plainly visible. The roiling storm visible all around. Like, look at that shit. That shit looks crazy. This is the storm of Stormveil Castle. The eponymous storm, as it were. I'm getting an inkling, though. Oh, hey, party time. Oh, shit. Ooh, almost fell off for pictures taken instantaneously. I am a photographic genius, if I do say so myself. Please, everybody get ready for an instant memory. And type into the chat, Fuzzy Stormveil. Let's see. Let's look all dramatic. Yeah, that looks cool. Do that. Fuzzy Storms, Fuzzy Stormveil. I'm gonna go with Storms. Just to confound 11. Alrighty, it's a screen grab redeem. If you want to get in on it, type something in the chat now. But I'm gonna wait for like some good lightning or something to happen and hit the capture. Yeah, that looked good. I think. There it is. Cool. That looks badass. Thank you, Levitt, for the redeem. How are you? Oh boy, today's the, what? 23rd? Damn. 5/23, 24 is the day of the week. Yes, yes. Dandy, yo. Well, ding, dang, dandy. Here you go. Let me post this. Goes in the Discord, gang. Bam, got you. Wow, what a great photograph. I'm sure it'll always bring back the fondest of memories. Woo! Sky look crazy here, though, for real, huh? Didn't expect sadness. Well, what did you expect? Like, look, here's the servants here. They're very lethargic. see if we can get across the way. These guys are neat, right? They're covered in thorns. But I don't think it's... Like, I think this is sort of a misdirection. I don't believe these thorns are the same sort of thorns that are related to the death root. The briars found on these soldiers, which I believe are called exiled soldiers, are more like those associated with the sins of punishment that are the briars of punishment that we see associated with the thorn sorcerers who hang out with the fire monks. Although, look, this looks like it might be dead Deathroot, if that's the thing. I don't know. Because this, I mean, these thorns look like the thorns that these guys have. It's so hard to understand. Why? Why do there have to be 4 different types of thorns, each with their own significance? We also see the vines climbing all over this place. They do look a little thorny. Just a little bit. Gotta say. And it's like these thorns are also definitely associated with this corruption we're seeing. Oh, good. Glad my light turns off when I zoom in. Hey, wake up. Sleeping on the job. But here's a banished knight who wears armor specific to the Stormlord, and we can find this armor also venerated in the Round Table Hold, as well as the actual fortified manor upon which the Round Table Hold is a replica. But yeah, see, look, here's a painting of a banished knight. Here's a painting of Godfrey, looking badass. You can see Sirash at his back. You can see Sirash's hand on his shoulder. You see a portrait of what looks like an eagle or something. Here, I'll enhance this. Whoop. There we go. So yeah, you can see on Godfrey's hand right there, you can see Zarash's arm and perhaps his apparition in the place you can normally find it. There's a Banished Knight painting, and upon their helmet is a dragon. And they use a lot of wind-based attacks and stuff. And then behind them is that painting of what is like a hawk or something, which we can see as soon as that ghost finishes dying. We can see that right over here. There we go. That's the painting in question. And indeed, we can see Stormveil Castle itself in this painting. Holy shit. Let's enhance further. Enhancing more. See? Just right there on the right side of the painting, you can see Stormveil. I can't tell if it's as gilded as it is in the present day, though. I've always considered the latest gold ornamentation on the place to be put in by Godric. But it could have been put in by Godfrey after conquering it. I mean, the power of gold was being represented by Godfrey after all, so it makes sense. But yeah, we got like a storeroom here with fancy paintings, fancy vessels. I believe these are Leyendell ones. And we also see a tree sentinel statue And another one. This is like where Godric put all the extra crap. Like here's an Erd tree relief carved into a wooden, kind of screen thing. And this is one of the Erd tree reliefs that shows what appears to be people. I knew it. I knew it. Okay, we can see from here just a little bit. But yeah, check this out. So we have this depiction of a great tree. We see what looks to be a building at the pinnacle. And we see what look to be people in its branches. Interestingly, though, we don't see anybody within the roots, like being in burial. And we don't see any nodules like we see on the similar reliefs that we see on the doors inside the Erdtree root catacombs. It could be just that this mural is emphasizing like the abundance of the Erdtree, whereas that other mural is acknowledging Erdtree burial as a means of recycling people who can't die anymore. Mayan iconography. I like this tapestry quite a bit. Let's see. We can get a little bit higher, I guess. How do we do that? We can get higher and higher. Oh, wait. I think I remember. There's an elevator here. Or a ladder. Yes. Ladder technology. Mm-hmm. What's up, Baked and Living? We are lore hunting. I decided to dig into Stormveil Castle after we went on a bit of a tangent about what the Night of the Black Knives was about. But I hope you're doing alright. Welcome in. Just kind of discussing the nature of this corruption we see everywhere on the side of Stormveil. Like, and we also, we can see a few things happening. And I'll see if I can get a good visual example to inform us. One that's well lit, hopefully. Oh, almost didn't jump. Yep. Mr. Fancy Pants. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we see the side of Stormville has all this kind of shit going on. And like, look, you can see it pushes, it's something that starts out perhaps as something that makes a hole, but then it pushes out the bricks. See? Like the way a wound would swell and fester. And then there's the thorns. And then we have what look to be these timbers here that seem to have been put into place to try to shore it up, maybe? But then they look broken from perhaps further degradation. So the real question becomes, when did the corruption of Stormveil begin? And why does it seem to be so focused just on this side of the castle? Banished Knight's Halberd. I wonder if that has any kind of description on it. A finely crafted halberd intricately engraved with an ancient motif. See, the use of the adjective ancient is actually informative, probably, maybe. Hanging out doing ship salvage and Star Citizen? You gonna give it another go after Tsushima? Cool. Oh, that's awesome. That's nice to know. It's inspiring people to play the game. Given to knights who, whether by misfortune or misdeed, were forced to abandon their homes. Most of these knights were sent out to the fringes, where they were forced to start anew with only despair for company. Neat. Let's see if we have... their armor pieces. I'm pretty sure I have a few. Maybe. Do I not? Seems like I might not indeed. Yeah, son of a bitch. Do I have any of their gear? Doesn't look like it. Nope, that's not it. Huh, I don't have the banished set. I bet you that would be very informative, too. Just making sure none of these are them. Son of a bitch. All I have is a halberd to attest to their tale from the sea. See, we're very near the grace. Yeah, say. I have an interesting question in mind. We've kind of said that corruption is localized to the western side here. Might we see if the other side has similar corruption? We could declare some kind of directionality to that phenomenon. This side looks pretty crispy. There doesn't seem to be any of that corruption on this side, really, right? What's this? Ew, that's a shitter hole. Maybe. Wait. Yeah. Nope. Looks pretty clean, gang. Not gonna lie. We got... looks to be some rocks stuck inside somehow. But apart from, the throne keep over there, this bit, it looks pretty damn pristine. Which could further indicate that it's the apparition of Godwin that is responsible for the decay on that side. You can see a little bit right there. Right at that front tower. About just over the rail center frame. That's where we fought Margit. Here's the Divine Bridge, which is a structure, I presume, to post-date Stormveil, but not by much. Because it has a lot of the same construction paradigms, you know? But it seems like it was Stormveil, or, well, the order of constructions would be Tower, Stormveil, and then the bridge to link them, oddly enough. Oh, hold on. Oh, wait, hold on. I got some cool stuff here. Let's try it out. Didn't really do much. Go get him. Ow. Oh, there's another one. Look out. Oh, there's a big boy. Oh, I guess I never took that one down. And this just blinks us across the way. So there's an arena. That's Godfrey's business also. Not an item. It's a few items. Never went down there, I guess. Let's do that. Fuck it. Yay! New stuff. It's probably nothing too spectacular, but... No, don't jump off it, liar. Soft cotton. An Ash of War Scarab. Huh. What is this? I think that's headgear. There it is, Ash of War Scarab. These scarabs roll clumps of ashes of war during their labors. Huh. Alright. So I guess you can get a type of scarab for each one there is in the world. Alright, well we're boned now, right? There's no... Yeah, there ain't no surviving that fall. No siree babo. Let's see if we can make our way across. Although we can see the site of Stormveil from here a little bit better. And yeah, super clean except for the keep wall. I mean, I find this all very interesting. Ugh. The sort of environmental details you can just really take the time to look at. Now, I want to point out something. We're on an old road, as evidenced by these pavers we're walking over. I want to draw your attention to the symbolism on the pavers, which is a Celtic knot image of the Elden Ring, but not the Golden Order's version. In the Golden Order's version, there's 4 rings, sure, but they're not evenly distributed around. Right? Like this one is. You can see 4 rings kind of Venn diagrammed over each other evenly. No ring given precedent. In Marika's version of the Elden Ring, one of these 4 rings is moved into a central position and the other 3 are arranged around it to the point where it almost obscures the existence of that other ring. But here, the ring is obvious. And this is a road that predates the Golden Order, predates Marika even, probably. And I think is associated with the ancient dynasty. Or whatever the ancient dynasty became when it made contact with the Newman. I guess we can call that the sword and tree era. Because that's the era that directly precedes the rise of Marika and Godfrey. Ooh, there's a cart across the way here? I never knew that. Did I? Let's go see that cart. Oops. Oops. Shit. There we go. The Liurnia Highway. You can see how this highway more or less bypasses Liurnia altogether, right? Although there's a road that's a little bit more modern that leads from the Altus Plateau in Leyndell directly to Rea Lucaria. And then rejoins the old highway here. The old highway, I believe, ran just along this ridge. Anyway, where do we go? Where do we go? Look at that. Holy shit, it's May Megan. Oh, that's right. The fire monks are around here. How you doing, May? Hark! This and that. Hark! Woo! That was for you. Welcome in, Raiders. If you have to raid and fade, I can dig it. Thank you for taking care of May Megan. And coming in over here on the raid, we're doing Elden Ring deep lore discussions and explorations, and I'm kind of just winging it for pictures taken instantaneously. I am a photographic genius, if I do say so myself. Please, everybody, get ready for an instant memory. And type into the chat, please. Let's see. What could we type? Oh, you want to do the sparkle? Okay, fuzzy sparks. Sure. Here, I'll try to capture it. Yeah, we could do it. Do it. All right, here it goes. No, I didn't like that. I didn't like it. We're going to do it again. Hold on. You guys don't have to do nothing. It's just me. still don't like that. Why is it? I mean, it's okay. That's pretty good. Thank you. Sparkle Pickle. That would have been a good one, too. Well, we got it. There we are. There's explosions and stuff happening. Thanks for the raid, May. Thanks for the redeem. Save it. And it is the 22nd of May. Right? Yeah. 2024. Let's say 2023. Sorry. But yes, indeed. Is it the 23rd? Shut up. Oh, damn it, it is. Well, that's okay. Fuck it. Oh, here, I can rename it here. It's fine. I can rename it here. It's fine. I think. Yes. There we go. Thank you, May. Oh, what a great photograph. I'm sure to always bring back the fondest memories. And there it goes. Right. But yeah, welcome in, gang. I was just exploring the living heck out of Stormveil Castle, and we still kind of are. I'm trying to get a look at it from all the different angles. You silly gentleman. Oh. There we go. How about you? You think so? Stormhawk feathers. Hmm? So here we have a chunk of ruined Farum Azula. Somehow got all the way over here. Guess I never did ascend it. First off, something. Okay. But yeah, there's Stormveil up there, and that's the, like, walls surrounding its main castle keep, which displays lots of this corruption. I was trying to describe where the corruption occurs on the castle, trying to determine if it's localized to any particular side. And it seems to be localized on the western face of the outer wall, mostly. And that's the side the Godwin apparition could be found on. But that corruption seems to completely encircle and surround the throne room part of the castle, and also makes its way kind of in front as well. What are you doing there? What are you hiding from? Ah! Oh, I see. You're hiding from those guys. Damn puppets. That encounter would have totally wrecked my shit earlier in the game. I'm pretty super OP for this region, so I can afford to be a little oothy-goothy. These things are marionettes. They're constructs of Rhea Lucaria. You know, they do guard duty and stuff, but they're puppets. Look at them. They got, like, wooden joints and stuff like that. Probably not too dissimilar from the puppet that Ronnie eventually inhabits of the Snow Witch or whatever. Who I guess had 4 arms? But I'm venturing forth this way because when I was on the far side of the gap over here beyond the collapsed bridge, I noticed that there was a mausoleum cart being dragged up the hill on the far side by a pair of trolls. And there it is. It's a cart that I probably haven't collected yet, so we're gonna see about it. Here we have some men. Who are they? I think they're Godric's people, huh? See if we can get a little closer. But it looks like that troll's working his way down to the cart. Or that he's lost the cart and doesn't know what to do. Oh, I straight missed that guy. No, these are Liurnian knights. Loyal to Rhea Lucaria. Knights, Cuckoo. Knights of the Cuckoo, I believe. So these would be... Yeah, they have tabards of the Knights of the Cuckoo. These would be loyal to Rhea Lucaria. And distinct from, Caria. Tarnished golden sunflowers. And sure enough, yeah, they're facing the Erd tree. Tarnished golden sunflowers. Perhaps we should have a look at that description. A large flower that blooms facing the Erd tree. Used for crafting items. See, one of the harder things to cross-reference is what items craft what, because there's things to understand from that as well. Let's see. Here's some commoners dead. This troll seems to have broken its bonds and decided it doesn't want to work with these people no more and fucked them up. Ooh, he's got me. He's got me in his sights. Let's see, that spell seems to be missing a lot. Fabulous. Nice. Likely weak foe, I'll say. Have I collected this one? I haven't. Son of a gun. The tree spear. Presumably the weapon possessed by the... perhaps demigod who's contained in here. Silver firefly. We'll read that tree spear incantation. Or not incantation, weapon description. There it is. Golden spear with tree-like design wielded by knights employed as palace guards in the royal capital of Leyndell. Deals holy damage. Requiring superior dexterity to wield, this great spear can perform consecutive thrust attacks despite its larger size. This is a fucking powerful-ass spear, not gonna lie. Requires dex of 22 to even handle. It's a nice spear. Holy shit. I'm gonna equip it just to see. Let's see here. There we are. Wow. What a find. So yeah, these are like the hearses of champions, you know? Which sounds ridiculous to say out loud, but in every one of them, there's a treasure box containing a weapon. Usually a pretty good one. Some a little bit more mundane than others. This one is quite a bit less mundane than your usual fare. Wow. It has a incantation of the Golden Order. So that dates these too. Uh that puts this with Golden Order fundamentalism, which is during the time period of Radigan as Elden Lord, which is the time period that immediately precedes the Shattering, which is after Radigan left Queen Rennala. Damn. This thing's pretty rad, not gonna lie. But alas, not my steez bees. Where's my bastard stars? There they are. Well, I sure am glad I spotted that thing from across the way. And indeed, this is probably the most informative weapon that we found in one of those things. Looks like it lost control and careened all the way down here. And that troll wasn't having it. He said, fuck y'all, I'm not dragging that back up there. I mean, these are the Knights of the Cuckoo also. I don't think they dig the trolls too much. Carrion Knights seem to have taken the trolls a little bit more seriously. Hey, y'all. A noble and his escort traveling the road. Oh, look at that. Is that a grace site we haven't claimed? Sure is, right enough. Fabulous. This is the Liurnia Highway South. Alright, nothing too special here. You know what? Let's look at our Wondrous Physic. We got that, we got that. Boosts magic attacks. That is pretty nice. Boost poise. More likely to break enemy stances. Ooh, that's pretty good. Boost stamina, boost recovery speed, boost intelligence. All damage negation. That's nice. Boost resistance and heal status. Boost poise. Holy attacks. What's these ones? Eliminates all FP consumption. Ooh, so if you drink this first, you can summon shit and throw all your magic without it costing anything for a little while. That's actually really good. I think we'll take that one. Alrighty. I know I wanted to redo my spells a little better. Alright. Ronnie's Dark Moon. Incarnate a cold dark moon and launch it at foes. Okay. Hey, what's up, Destination V? Is the zoom intentional? Oh, it was for a while. Uh, it was for a little while. Appreciate you, though. Thank you, thank you. I do be doing that. Caught me organizing my spells here, forgive me. Alright, there's that one. Alright, let's see. I start with the stealthy one, then I hit with the strong one, and then I hit with the gavel, then I hit with the thing, and then the magma shot was very useful. What else do we got here? Got some black flame stuff, that's kind of neat. It is kind of neat, actually, now I think about it. Whoa, Lansax's Glaive. Cool. I need Faith of 40 to use that. Holy shit. Yeah, never enough spell slots. You can use Vike's Dragon Bolt. Yeah, I ain't gonna fucking... Wait, what's this? Stone of Garunk. Mm-hmm. I think... Carrying Greatsword's kind of nice. Of course, there's always Comet Azure. Uses 3 slots, though. Alright, what am I missing? Gravity Magic. Yeah? And then Comet Azure. Fuck it. I never use Comet Azure, but it could be fun. It certainly did. It made it worth engaging with in a way the other ones didn't, unless you were pursuing some sort of gimmick. Alrighty. Yeah, let's shoot at the urge. Wait. Think we can hit those guys from here? Kamehameha! Ooh, let's see. We aim a little higher. No, it doesn't quite have the range. But hey, I think I just further contextualized those burst type carts we've been seeing. There's a shot for DJ and one for Designation V. Please follow my friends. They are good. Grants a blessing of blood to Phantom. So when I summon the Mimic tier, it would get... Like, if I used a Rune Arc and summoned the Mimic tier, it would have a blessing of blood. I don't know what that means. That's okay. Guess we'll put on more guts. We're not actually going to use it right now, but... Okay, well... What's next? We got about a half an hour left that I can fiddle about with. The Ringleaders Ever Jail. Hmm. Who's this? Oh, the merchant. There an NPC list? No. Well, I guess we can go back to the mountaintop of the giants. Or the consecrated snowfields. I know I didn't do a hell of a lot of proper exploring here. You know, I dashed through to get to Ordina, basically. Albanuric Rise. It's such a bastard to explore consecrated snowfield. I guess we have to, though. There will be things to discover there. Dead ahead, baby. Sorry. So the consecrated snowfields lie in a part of the Forbidden Lands that is largely inaccessible to most people because it requires a secret medallion to make the excuse me, the elevator even stop here. Nomadic Warriors Cookbook 23, was that? Frozen raisin, clarifying cured meat, why cured meat? There they are. Ugh. Oh, shit! Oh! So that's an Albanuric woman on Wolfback. And my Night Comet just was not phasing her. I was like, oh no. And that's why the consecrated snowfields are horde. They're horde. Also, it's daytime now. Which I don't know if it's better or worse. Guess we can get my runes back. They're just right here, huh? Yay. Oh no, that's the wind. Shit. What is that body? Oh, there it is. There they are. Too far? Too far. see it right there. Oh. Oh shit. Oh shit, there's a snail right there. Oh fuck. Oh. It still lives. Ugh. Oh, the wolf hit the lava. That was wild, Rusty. Also, I only took down one of them. Oh, they hit me in my ankle. Not my Achilles heel. My Achilles ankle. Well, I think I need some magic health back. That was worth quite a few runes. That was just a wolf, no rider. Look, I mean, we've gotten nowhere. Kind of amazing, really. There be light. I seem to remember there being strange structures around here to discover. What's that? It's a mausoleum cart. Tell me it's a cart. It is. Oh shit. Alright. Oh, there's a fancy guy. Oh, shit. What hit me? Wasn't him. Oh, shit. I don't know why my target lock on never went on that guy, but as soon as I dropped my guard, that guy ran out at us. Shit, that means that wolf's gonna be back. Ugh. Alright, well, there's a fucking mausoleum cart there. That seems like the most reasonable objective. I have to get past that wolf to get my runes back. Shit! Trying to avoid the wolves. That cart gotta be nearby. There's the tree upon which we did battle. Sweet. Alright, kind of lost track. Behind us. My kids have started, like, becoming very laughy and crazy sounding, and it's, like, totally absorbing my attention. There it is. Shit. Okay. Oh, fuck. A dismounter? Ooh. Well, it's confirmed. I definitely didn't, get this item before. Or I did. Okay, well. Alright, there's a statue of Rosas nearby. So the place we're looking for is probably over here. There's gonna be a catacombs over here. Ooh. Those guys are busy. Extreme whiteout. Lump of flesh. Gross. I find it? I found it. Whoa. Consecrated snowfield catacombs. Excellent. I guess we could delve in for just a bit. Depending on how lengthy it is, we probably won't finish it. Water, huh? Cistern. Oh, then... Okay, I'm the best warrior who ever warriored. There we go. Fuck. Whoa. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Ah, stunned me. Gosh. It's gonna be that kind of dungeon. Alright, I'm gonna call it a night. I'm getting close to when I have to quit, and the distraction of my children is just becoming a little too much for me. I'm gonna retrieve these runes, though, so I don't forget them next time. Hopefully I retrieve them. Here we go. Eat shit. There we go. There we go. Did that hit it? No. Oh! It didn't get killed by the frost. I thought it did. There we go. Alright, that's the boss room and crap. Good enough for me. Good enough for me. Okie dokie. But yeah, looks good for a place to stop as far as I'm concerned. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, where I basically just rambled for 3 hours.